started playing it again. It did that last time too, where it started playing it twice. My computer is just it's deciding that it doesn't want to work tonight. How are you doing?
I am okay. We have sickness going through our house. Lexi got it, and then Kate, and then London got it, and trying to keep kids away from each other in a house is really difficult because they don't understand.
It's ripped through so many people. I am, and I'm pounding on wood right now that I haven't. So last Saturday,
Hi, Dan.
I felt like it was coming. Like it was one of those things where just throughout the day I was like progressively felt worse and worse and worse, and I was like, crap. Like, am I about to get the freaking flu? And then luckily I woke up Sunday and I was fine. So it was nothing. Yeah, it was one of those things that it was like, good. That's the last thing. The last thing that any of us need is to get sick when it comes to this time of year, especially because we're in playoff mode. So.
Yeah, I just need 2 more weeks. 2 weeks, I can get as sick as I want to, but I just need to get through right now.
And see, so for us, technically, when we do our show next week, we could be done for basketball. Now, that would be a massive disappointment.
We could too.
Or
next week's show is going to have to be on. It's going to have to be a different night as well because
then we won't be able to have a show more than likely then.
Yeah,
because if the girls win on Monday, then we'd play Thursday, and if the boys win on Tuesday, they play on Friday.
Yeah, Dan, we've had some schools shut down because they've had like 70 to 80% of their kids have gotten sick. It's horrible right now, bro.
You're making these kids way too soft, Leroy.
I know.
They're way too soft these days.
I know. Send them. You know, back in my day,
the comment sections on our videos on anything like that, it's just like, why do you like? It's they canceled because we had about probably over the last couple of days we've had probably about 6 inches of snow, about 6 inches. And it's looking pretty good, Jason. The game will be happening. So they've canceled school for most of the week. And it's like, well, back in my why? Like, just because they did it back in your day.
Dan, you live in Canada. Have they ever canceled school because of cold weather up there? Like, if anybody should be an expert on this, it should be you. You
didn't even go to school. I mean, he's a Ravens fan, so clearly there's something missing up there, right? Isn't that right? We never got sick back in the day because we exposed ourselves to everything when we played outside. Yeah, drinking hose water, right?
Yeah. And heading out to the baseball diamond and hitting your own like ball, and then having to go out retrieve that ball, and then just me. Okay, got it.
Has to be negative 54 for them to shut it down.
I'm surprised you 54. Woo!
Gosh, can you imagine?
Yes, I lived in northern Minnesota. I absolutely can.
That I don't know what the coldest. So I think I had like a wind chill once of like negative 20, negative 25, and I was like, yeah, that's good. That's fine. Mm-hmm. That's fine.
We had in International Falls, we had negative 35, and it's crazy. I went out like an idiot because I thought I was like high speed and went to go run, and I ran about half a mile, and I was like, who does this? Who does? And I went back in the house. Yeah, well, just running in general. But.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, listen, let's be real. Neither one of us are doing much of that. I miss the day though. We're like my mailbox. The way I always think about it is my definition of too cold.
No. Leroy used to run.
Yes, used to run. You run your mouth now.
That's true.
We both do that. But my mailbox is probably 20 yards up the street, give or take. 20 yards up the street. And I know that it's too cold when I almost have to put a jacket on to go check my mail. And it's like, I'll come back in and be like, God, what is this? What is this? It is true, John. He does need two steps for every step that we run. That is probably an accurate statement. That's when we were walking around campus at Western, I always had to be cognizant when he was with me because I couldn't walk my normal speed because I just leave them in the dust. Your legs can only move so fast, right? I mean, it's not an inaccurate point, right?
It's fine.
You had a big playoff week this week, right?
I did. Well, Boys finished off the regular season with a horrible loss on the road, and then the girls won their first round, the regional semifinals. So they will play in the regional finals tomorrow night for a chance to win the finals for the first time since 2013. 10-22 Rochester upset 21-9 Glenwood. Massive upset, probably one of the biggest I've seen. And so Taylorville will take on Rochester in both playoff games. So the girls and the boys will be playing. Girls will be playing for the regional finals. Boys will be playing for the regional semifinals. Boys are going to get their butts kicked. We'll see what happens with the girls.
Sorry, Dan. My comment. It's amazing how it just doesn't work sometimes, Leroy. Like I'm kicking it. That one just won't go up. It's amazing how it doesn't work that way.
Didn't go for you.
It's wild. No, I'm trying. I mean, like, look, you see me. I'm clicking.
You're clicking the button. Nothing's happening, man.
It's not working.
I'll read it for you. Amazing. Back to your comment about me being a Ravens fan.
And see, I have the see, look, like this one works. This one works. It's amazing how just some of the comments work. And it's weird that your audio all of a sudden went away. What's up, Jesus? Travis watching with a
man, the legend.
As technology, I don't even know how you're spelling that word.
Technogally
is funny when it works. It is. It's wild when it works. So we had, like I said, we've had a lot of snow. So there was a big game that was supposed to be this past Tuesday. And they ended up moving it. Like that morning, I got an email from the AD, and he's like, hey, on Monday. And he was like, hey, can't tell anybody this, but it's going to be played tonight. But we don't have school today, so we don't want to announce it too early because then people are going to get mad because we're playing games on the day that we don't have school. So I'm like, okay. So they ended up announcing it at like noon. So I was like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
But it was a big matchup between two of the top 2 or 3 teams in the region, and between Grayson County and Davis County. And Leroy, it was one of the best high school sporting events I've ever seen. Grayson County won on a buzzer beater, 86-84 in triple overtime. Triple overtime. I'd never done double overtime. Have you? You've been rendered speechless. Oh, you're back now. You're back now. Okay. Did you hear my question or no?
Nope.
Okay.
Try it again.
I asked you, have you ever done double overtime or triple overtime?
Double. I've done double. I've never done triple. The double overtime, we were down by 5 in the first overtime, came back and hit a game-tying 3 at the buzzer, which sent into double overtime, and then the team was just exhausted and got outscored by 7.
See, that was kind of like this one. So Grayson County, with about a minute left in the second overtime, was down by 5. They hit a 2. They get the ball, and they're down 3 with 9 seconds left underneath of their own basket. They pass it in. They get a really good look from the near corner, going up, misses the shot. Grayson gets the rebound, and the kid just runs to the corner because obviously they had to have a 3 and just throws up a prayer with about 2 seconds left. And the other team he just body checks him. I mean, it was a clear foul. And it was like, oh, so the refs call it. Like, I give them a lot of preps because sometimes you'll see the whole, got to swallow the whistle or whatever it was. And it was, yeah, who's been staring into space?
I'm just exhausted, Paul.
But they, so the kid goes to the free throw line with 1.9 seconds left, down 3 free throws, and drains them all.
Oh.
Drains them all. And then in triple overtime, tie game, 84-84. Other team has the ball with about 15 seconds left. They dribble it out. Their best player, who's really, really good, takes a baseline jumper, rims out. Grayson, the kid who just made the 3 free throws, gets the rebound with about 4 seconds left, and like a bat out of hell, just freaking takes off down the field. Does like the Jordan roll and goes in. And I hate it because my call, I thought the ref puts his hand in the air and there was contact made. So I was worried, is this going to end and he's going to call a charge and we're going to have quadruple overtime? So you hear me, like, I'm like, good. Oh, I'm like, what? No, don't end it this way. And then the ref from the far side comes in to say, no, basket's good. And the other guy was calling a block anyways. And going back and watching, it was one of those things that I was telling myself, like, past me, I was like, what? That wasn't even close to a charge. Like, it was just one of those things that it was happening so fast. And I mean, in those moments, like, you're trying to get every single aspect right on a buzzer beater. Yep. And it was just funny looking back on it. But I'm like, oh.
Our JV game, our Taylorville point guard went from 0 to 0 in exactly 4.5 seconds. Taylorville JV was down by 2. Kid came over, broke free, hit a big 3 with 4 seconds left to put Taylorville up by 1. The throw in, the guy beats the kid that shot the 3, and he gives this horrible reach-in foul. And with 5 fouls already, sent the kid to the free throw line with 0.8 seconds left. The other kid hit two free throws in a row. Taylorville loses by 1. So he hit the game-winning 3 and then gave up the foul for the guy shooting the free throws. And then it was senior night, so he had to go and present a trophy, or he had to present a basket or something to our senior center. And you just see him walk over there, and it's the most dejected, here. He walked away.
Dan says, can we talk about the bogus Bobby Portis suspension? I'll be honest, I don't follow the NBA, so I got nothing on that. So you might in the tidbits.
Yeah,
you got that coming in tidbits.
Yep,
how about Paul's stat of the week is also Paul's trivia of the week for you. Mm-hmm. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready? So
no,
the Bears-Packers rivalry is the oldest in all of football, and the Bears lead the series 92-90 with 6 ties. At least when this post was written, I don't know if that's still accurate or not.
Packers lead it now, but go ahead.
Okay, but still okay. However, the Bears haven't fared well at Lambeau. In 56 games at Lambeau, they've only had 1 300-yard passer.
Jay Cutler.
No. In week 11 of 1995, blank completed 23 of 38 passes for 318 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception.
What year?
95. Week 11, 1995. Paul says you will never get it.
Okay. Jim, who was the guy with the goatee? He was the quarterback right after.
Jim McMahon?
No, not Jim McMahon. It was
Jim Harbaugh?
No, they had 3 Jims in a row.
Trying to see if I can't find a hint for you here. Actually, he was there for a while with the Bears. He came to the Bears from the Lions. In fact, he holds the Bears' single-season record for passing yards, touchdown passes, and attempts in a single game.
Who is Eric? Eric. I can't think of his last name. Go ahead, tell me.
Eric Kramer.
Kramer, that's it. Eric Kramer.
Eric Kramer is the record holder for that. So there's Paul's stat of the week. He also has another stat for you here today. Hank Aaron. Oh, see, Dan got it there. Eric Kramer as well. Hank Aaron, the legendary slugger who wore number 44 in 20 of his 21 unforgettable seasons with the Braves, 12 in Milwaukee and 9 after the move to Atlanta, died at 86 years old. His life was so very well lived, is what this says. In his first season after his death, his Braves won 44 games before the All-Star break, 44 games after the All-Star break, and then won the World Series in the 44th week of the year. Those are Paul's stats of the week.
What a legend, man. What an absolute beast.
This might be in your tidbits, but I at least wanted to bring it up because it just came out like an hour or two ago. I don't know when you wrote your tidbits to know whether this would be on this or not, but did you see the Sunday Night Baseball thing or ESPN?
I did. We were going to talk about it a little bit.
Well, how about we just, because I'm intrigued by this.
We can talk about it now.
And I think it just leads me into the question for you. So if you haven't heard yet, ESPN, this is going to be the last year Major League Baseball is on ESPN in 2025. They've been on ESPN since the 1990, and it will no longer be on ESPN after the season, which is hilarious because as soon as Joe Buck gets back into baseball, we're done. We're out.
There's a deep drive to left field that makes the score 4-0 Reds.
Well, that's Tom Brenneman.
I know. But it's a sad situation, and I'm breaking the silence by having Nick Castellanos home run.
It is. So my question to you is where does Sunday Night Baseball go, or is Sunday Night Baseball gone?
Apple will get it.
I think Amazon. Because Apple's got Friday night, unless they get rid of Friday night and go to Sunday night instead.
Regardless, it's stupid. We still have 18 different networks that are going to be carrying baseball games. But the thing is ESPN is slowly becoming the NFL / college football / NBA channel, and that's it. Wrestling. They also, for some reason, cover the crap out of WWE, which is weird to me. And I like wrestling, but just weird to me. But it's sad. It's disappointing. I mean, as much as we hated it, Yankees versus Red Sox on Sunday Night Baseball seemed to be a staple of the early 90s and late 90s, early 2000s. And
that's what I'm excited about, is that we're finally hopefully going to get Sunday Night Baseball games that are not controlled just by, we want to give it to the two most popular teams.
That's not going to change. In the words of Sam Gormley.
See, I disagree. I think Apple TV, it doesn't matter. Roku, they just started theirs. It doesn't matter. Yeah. See, I think you're going to see a little bit more of, hopefully, some extra things. But like the Reds have not had a Sunday Night Baseball game in almost 15 years.
Paul is right. ESPN, and the thing is a lot of these sports channels have to figure out what direction they're going. With the way that streaming is changing, with the way that the market is changing and developing, it really feels like we're getting rid of traditional channels that cover sports. The market for ESPN is not working anymore. I mean, when's the last time you sat down and watched ESPN? Really, honestly, when was the last time you watched ESPN?
Not counting a game. Yeah, it's been not counting a game. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I watch Sports Center in the last couple of weeks. I think I had it on in the background while I was doing a couple of things.
All right, but the majority of people are getting away from it, and for a sport that's already dealing with all kinds of problems as far as blackouts and people being able to watch their sport, they need an answer. And I don't necessarily know if they have the right answer as far as moving forward. And I'm not saying ESPN was the right answer. I'm not saying that at all, because let's face it, ESPN's coverage of MLB has been slowly going downhill for a while. But I just worry about the sport. I worry about the direction that's headed as far as being able to watch it, and part of that's me being frustrated because I haven't been able to watch any of my teams play, period.
I can now. They just announced today.
Yep. But you see
$20 a month.
And that's my frustration. That's my frustration is I don't have the money to shell out $30 per team. $30 per team per month to watch my sports teams play horrible hockey and horrible baseball.
And see, I'm lucky. So the Reds, it'll be $20 a month. Like I can justify that for 5 or 6 months. And I think for like and luckily for me, my birthday being right at the start of baseball season,
20, I justify that too. They're not.
It is, my birthday's right around my baseball season, right around the start of opening day. So I think I might just tell my parents. I think they have like a season long pass, and I might be like, you know what, for the rest of my life, let's just make that my birthday present. It's just every year you all get me the season pass, because I mean, listen, that's as good of a present out of anything. Does the MLB fold in our lifetime? No, I can't imagine it does. I can't imagine.
Dan, you're Canadian. You don't have any baseball teams up there.
Toronto.
I said baseball teams.
The Blue Jays?
Yeah, I know what I said. What's the last time the Blue Jays were relevant?
Jose Bautista?
1994. 93, sorry. 93.
Jose Bautista. For less money, you can get every game, every sport through Uzu. I've heard about Uzu. It's the FanDuel network is weird about where it's going to end up being on. With how much it's talked about, how much is wrong with it, no fixes in the near future. Do you predict it to fold? No, I don't.
But here's the thing, Dan. Every sport you could talk about as having issues, right? Nobody's watching the NBA right now. That's all I hear is nobody's
except
watching
the NFL
NBA right now. And people are upset with the NFL because the NFL keeps changing their rules. Now, don't get me wrong. A lot of people are still watching. Sam?
People still watch it. Yep.
Yes. All hail the mighty NFL. We get it.
I'm saying for you, that's the one thing that the NFL has that the other teams don't is that, yes, they keep screwing up, but it's just like the thing with the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. I'm not going to watch it, but everybody did.
The thing is everybody hates their sport, right? Baseball can change a whole lot. Football can change a whole lot. Basketball is dead. Soccer I can never find on TV, even if I wanted to watch it.
Yeah, because it's on Apple.
Great. I'm not paying for another streaming service. So how these teams adjust and how these teams adapt. Baseball's trying to fix itself. Not that it needed fixing in the first place. But I digress. We had our first official overruling of a ball strike count today. Based off of robot umpires. So I think a lot of stuff, is the sport going to be different in 10 years? In our lifetime, is the sport going to be different? Absolutely. As athletes get more and more powerful, as athletes get stronger, leagues will try to figure out better ways to keep each other safe, better ways to have more protection. And with that being said, it will be different, but it's not going to go anywhere.
See, the robot umpires don't bother me. Especially because if you've seen how quick it is, I mean, it's so quick. Like if it was like in basketball games where they have to go to the monitor and they do a challenge right now in baseball, and that's how they did it. Yeah, I'm not for that. But
no, but that robot ump today took a whole 6 seconds.
Yeah, and that's fine. Like that's quick. You do the challenge, they put it up on the big board, everybody in the stadium can see it, bang, done, we move on.
Yep.
And the umpires, there's no judgment in there, which is nice as well. Should they make a uniform field against all teams? No, that would have no impact on it at all, and I don't think they should. No. I think that's one of the things that makes baseball special.
What they need to do is make football and baseball or football and hockey play on different fields. That's what you need to do.
Or a different basketball court.
Look out for that big flagpole in the middle of by the 5-yard line. Look out for that.
You're gonna put a hill in the middle of the field, like in Houston, the old Tad's Hill. Do you have any other tidbits?
I do. Let's get to them. Canada versus USA is tied 2-2 with 18 and a quarter left in the third period. I know you don't care. There's plenty of other people that do. Yes, I know. Other sports exist other than football. All right.
You act like that's the only thing I...
Victor Wembanyama is out with a form of a blood clot in the right shoulder. He'll be out for the season. Spurs believe this is an isolated condition, but very, very Chris Bosh. Very worrisome for a guy who's
shoulder right?
Absolute stud, yeah. Yeah, right shoulder blood clot.
And he's young.
Hockey player Bobby Hull, who passed away a couple of years ago, has been posthumously diagnosed with CTE. And so that is something that they are doing. He donated his brain to science as a way for scientists to study what brains look like with CTE and the difference between them. And for whatever scientists were able to look at his brain, they were able to figure out he had CTE. Bobby Portis has been suspended for 25 games. The NBA suspended him. Bobby took a pain medication called Tramadol, thinking he was taking a pain medication called Toradol. And I promise you, I've been guilty of taking one or the other. I'm not an NBA player, though. I know you're shocked. But I'm not.
You're like an inch away.
Almost there. I was this close. I was that close. Toradol is an approved pain medicine that he's used previously. Teams players use for pain and inflammation. Tramadol, however, is not an approved pain medication and was just recently added to the banned substance list this past spring. Tramadol pill he took came from an assistant who had a valid prescription for the painkiller, which he mistakenly told Bobby was Toradol. And I know how that went. I know exactly how they went. The assistant went up to him. Bobby said, "Hey, let me get some of my medicine." The assistant went, "Yep, got you." Opened it up, and bro didn't even look at it. He just took the pills without thinking about it because I know how that went. Yes, John. That's not the point. They both have very similar names. That's the point. The Tramadol pill he took came from an assistant. Again, an honest mistake that was made because of the similarity in the names of the drugs and in the fact that they both serve a very similar purpose. Bobby was using an anti-inflammatory pain-reducing medication to deal with an elbow injury he had. He was taking Toradol to alleviate some pain in preparation for that night's game. So, he has been suspended for 25 games. He will not fight it. Zach Martin has retired from the NFL. The guard retires with more All-Pro selections, 9, than actual accepted holding penalties, 7.
That's pretty cool. And I don't blame him for wanting to leave the Cowboys.
If that's not the only way you can retire, the only way you can leave the Cowboys is if you retire. As we mentioned already, Cody Petit becomes the first player to challenge a ball strike call in the Major League game. Asked for a review of a fastball to Max Muncy in the first inning of the opening spring game today. Baseball is back. The Los Angeles Dodgers pitcher Bobby Miller was hit in the head by a 106-mile-an-hour comebacker. Hit Miller in the right temple. He walked off under his own power, but he is day-to-day. They put him in concussion protocol. Go figure. And he is it's fun. I know it's spring training, but like it's just one of those things where Michael Bush like hit the ball and kind of just stood there like at home plate, like, oh. And then like he kind of like half ran to first, but it's just one of those things where it's like,
Dan, don't make us have to ban you making bad jokes.
A lot of college football teams are starting to think, or actually doing it, getting rid of their spring football games with college playoffs. Teams don't have a whole lot of rest time in between, and many schools are thinking about getting rid of their spring game. Luckily, some of the teams that I follow don't need to do that because they'll never make the playoffs ever. So, not that we have a spring game. For some stupid reason, we've never had a spring game. But
really?
Yep.
Like because it's never spring.
Well, Fitz hated them. Fitz and the new coach hasn't done them at all. But yeah, we never had a spring game. But I just thought it was a funny joke, and I just wanted to throw it in there. So yeah, those are my tidbits for today.
I'm dying laughing over here.
You're being a jerk tonight.
No, I am. No,
a little bit.
Well, have you heard about the SEC Big Ten thing potentially?
No, what's up?
For football. So long story short, they're potentially going to make both conferences play 9 games. And then the 10th game for both these conferences might be like an SEC Big Ten challenge, to where at the beginning of every year, they say, okay, Kentucky, you're going to host Northwestern. It is, and Minnesota is going to go to Alabama, and Ohio State's going to go to Auburn, or something like that, which could be kind of fun. You're going to mention the Reds wearing Pete Rose patch. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it happens. I mean, that's what they do for every major death on the team. I mean, they wore Johnny Bench, or not a Johnny Bench, Joe Morgan won, Tom Browning, and so on. So yeah, it doesn't surprise me that they're going to wear.
Are you happy that baseball's back?
It's not real. Like,
or don't you care about spring training?
Like, I enjoy reading about, you know, some of the things that are happening and so on, but I won't really jump into it until when March Madness is over. Like, when March Madness kind of starts to, you know, when Kentucky gets knocked out in the first round, that's when I'll usually change my tune and go all in on baseball. I just need a little bit more, but also I'm all in on basketball right now because I'm doing basketball games.
I was really hoping my friend Blake would show up in the comments tonight because he's a big Ohio State fan and they got absolutely clobbered by Northwestern at home, like in Ohio State tonight. So I was really hoping that he would show up, but he knows better than to show up tonight.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's not going to give you the
satisfaction.
No, he's smarter than that. Okay, we're gonna do for logos today. We are gonna do the old. You're gonna tell me to stop.
Oh, all right.
I'm gonna be nice and give you that opportunity. So let me pull it up here. So you're gonna get 4 opportunities. So again, these are all logos you have seen before. Okay.
I care way more about preseason baseball than I do about preseason NFL. I'll tell you that much right now. You want to talk about not caring? My goodness.
I am scrolling right now, so tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Oh, gosh. Okay. And remember, these could be AI. No, I don't think any of these are going to be AI, but these could potentially be vintage. They could be AI. They could be anything. So it could be anything when we go through this.
I'm hoping for that Illini logo one more time, man. That was the most twisted, crazy logo I've ever seen.
We're going here.
Stop.
Here we go. Gosh, you're getting easy ones. Okay. This might be a 4 out of 4. If these first 2 are any indication, I don't know.
There's no way.
Okay, here we go.
Paul's here. There's no way it's going to happen. Paul's here.
Yeah, that's right. You only do it. Okay, I'm scrolling again.
Paul's around. Now.
Okay. Okay. It is loading in. Okay. I might need to pick this last one. I don't know. Okay. And one more coming. Okay. Here we go. Rolling it through.
Stop.
Okay. Alrighty. I've got your 4 logos now for this week's edition of Leroy's Logos, which now means that it is time to first check the comments. Maybe that's why he didn't show. It's like preseason. I refuse to watch that. And Leroy can't get 4 out of 4. I'm here.
I said that.
He is. Okay. Time now to cue El Musico. Or La Musica is probably
in Russia, it's Muzikant.
Already, it's like number 1, 2, or 3. Or 4.
2.
2 is the one he is taking here. Let me just type these in really quick. Alrighty, number 2.
Ouch.
Number 2. You know this one?
No, maybe.
See what episode this was.
Every time I think I do, I don't.
This was episode 51 of Leroy's Logos. 51.
51.
51 of Leroy's Logos was this one. One of the plainer logos.
I'll go SMU.
SMU, are you locking that in?
I am.
Correct. That is SMU. That was the one that I was like, oh. That's too easy.
Look at my ding.
There's the ding. I hit the ding. Did the ding not work?
Hey, there we go.
Okay.
I need my ding. Can't make my day without my ding.
You'll get a ding if you get a ding. Okay, 1, 3, or 4?
4.
Number 4, he says. Number 4. Let's see. What episode was this? This one was episode number 12 of Leroy's Logos. This has been a while. It has been a while since episode number 12 of Leroy's Logos. I think Paul might be a little bit late, unless he just thinks I'm using SMU twice in a row. Okay. You think you know this one?
Isn't that the school that Carlton went to on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? Didn't he dress up like a peacock?
I honestly have no idea.
You ever watch Fresh Prince?
No.
I'm old.
No. To answer your question. Alrighty, what's your guess? Dan should know this one.
Dan should know this one?
I've said too much.
Canadian school? East Carolina.
East Carolina. That one is incorrect. This is Delaware. Delaware, the Blue Hens. I was so happy when you picked that one. The Blue Hens of Delaware, which, why should Dan know it? Oh, Paul knew that one. Because Delaware is where Joe Flacco went.
Excellent. Dan, maybe fix your internet connection so you're actually on time with the rest of the class.
All right. 1 or 3?
3.
3. Alrighty. If I can spell right, I'd be able to actually see how many times we've done this one. Well, this one's actually been done twice prior. This is the third time. The third time for this one.
I get it wrong each time, don't I?
You're 1 for 1.
1 for 1.
You're 1 and 1 on this one.
1 and 1.
1 and 1.
Well, let me ask the audience. Let me ask the audience. See what they say. I can't remember it.
Damn it! No. You don't get to ask the audience on this.
No, sir. No, sir. I absolutely do, sir. That's right. Georgia Southern, quoting a friend. Paul saved my life. Thank you very much.
I'm still giving you one of those.
That's how this game works.
Paul, you get that. Would you have gotten that without Paul?
I'm tired. I can't remember it.
Because that was just episode 83, and we're episode 92
had
today.
that one recently. I knew it. I recognized it. I just can't remember what school it was. Give me
one.
And
the final one for today is this one. This is the final Leroy's logo for today.
Is that throwback or is that current?
I can't answer that.
You're so full of crap.
I told you it could be any of these.
University of Kentucky.
University of Kentucky. Are you locking that in?
Yes.
It's a stupid game. Stupid game.
Maybe next time you should pick logos while you're sitting in county board meetings.
I was trying to be nice to you this week, and clearly I was way too nice to you. Because I knew because the first 3 you picked were Kentucky, SMU, and then Georgia Southern. And I was like, God, I swear to goodness, if this next one is going to be like Northwestern or something, I'm going to be like, this is Like, what are the odds that you pick the ones that you actually know for this? Look at John. John did get that might be John's first ever one, right? Is it?
Second. John's second one that he's got right.
Yeah, not very often. Not very often indeed. Alrighty, time for a little bit of play clock here, and then we'll have our fast food bracket here coming up as well.
Fast food bracket
coming up here in a moment, but first, play clock. Would you like to ask or answer?
I will ask first. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. I just want to preface this by saying I apologize for the question ahead of time.
Oh, God.
All right. If you had to survive a zombie apocalypse with 3 athletes, 3 sports stars, who are you picking?
Oh, gosh. Joker, because he knows people. He knows people that I feel like would be helpful. Give me like one of the Olympic gold medal skeet shooter or something. Like, give me that. You know, whoever it might be. I don't know who it is. And then we'll have to take Joe Burrow, so I have some fun.
I joked that you should grab the gold medal shooter. Remember the Olympics, the gold medal?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying. Yeah. The chill guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't even have an eyepiece. Just walked up and like, done.
Just chilling. Get a little deep here on this one.
Okay.
Well, you ready to get deep and personal?
Yep.
What do you wish day one at WTIM, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you wish day one WTIM Leroy knew?
Oh, Leroy, there's so much I want to tell you, but I can't. Sadly, I can't.
You only got 40 seconds.
I know. It's not that deep, and you can pretty much do what you want and not get fired. I was so paranoid at the beginning of me being here that I was going to lose my job that I bent over backwards to do a lot of things for other people that I really shouldn't have. Other than that, just spend more time caring more about sports and less time worrying about news.
Yeah, I've thought a lot about what I would tell myself. I don't know. I
mean, really, I should have said don't take the job because you're going to have a worldwide pandemic in about a year and a half after you take it. That's what I should have told myself.
Well, you've already accepted it. You're walking in there first day. You can't run yet.
I know it.
Okay.
All right. Which athlete, past or present, would you pay the most money to watch live?
Oh, gosh. I don't know. It probably would have been pretty cool to see Michael Phelps swim or like Usain Bolt run. Like, give me one of those Olympians. Is it moving or not moving on? Because it's
not moving.
It is like the clock is actually moving like on my screen. It's okay. There we go. I don't really know what's going on with it. Well, now it's not doing anything. But give me like Michael Phelps or Usain Bolt or something like that would be fun. But I don't know how much money I would necessarily spend on that because as far as that, I need to have somebody to cheer for. So then I guess my answer is Joe Burrow. But that's just kind of a cop-out answer because I already spend money to watch Joe Burrow play football.
See, and I thought Jordan versus the Knicks in one of the playoff games, or Muhammad Ali versus Joe Frazier.
Mm-hmm.
Like one of the big boxing matches that everybody goes to. Yeah.
Yeah. I can see that. I saw this question on I think it was on social media or somewhere. I don't remember where I saw it. But you are locked in a mall for 24 hours. For 24 hours.
Tiffany and Madonna on the air. Ugh.
Would you rather be locked in a mall for 24 hours with a silverback gorilla or 3 black mambas?
Black mambas, absolutely. Listen, I will take my chances and just try to find a a big open area that I can go to where I can avoid it. A silverback gorilla is fast as can be, man, and it's pretty powerful. I just got to avoid the mambas. I got to imagine that as a human, as long as I don't sleep, should be all right. But I'm with Paul. I die in 2 seconds with silverback. Have you seen how fast those guys move? Ooh, good on that.
But isn't it also true that you'd have a better chance of potentially befriending the silverback?
Befriending a silverback gorilla?
Yeah, and they're relatively docile creatures, though. And yes, John makes a good point.
Yes, I just lower myself and slowly back away. Don't make eye contact. Don't make eye contact.
Listen, you saw what they did to Harambe.
I did. Dressed him.
Ready for some fast food here?
Yes, let's get to it.
So
all right.
Okay, so we've got the right side of the bracket, right?
Yes. To wrap up the results that we had from the Sunday's show, McDonald's, Red Lobster, Chili's, Long John Silver's, Taco Bell, Olive Garden, Wendy's, and Cracker Barrel have all advanced. They're already into the next round. We move on to the right side of the bracket tonight with the full right side of the bracket. So all these teams are looking for the round of 32. No.
To advance to the Sweet 16.
Sweet 16, yes. Sweet 16. Canes versus Papa John's. That's what we're starting with. Number 1 versus number 8. Canes versus Papa John's.
Canes versus Papa John's. So again, if you're watching in the comments and you've never joined us for this aspect, just drop a comment with which one you'd rather eat at. And if you're Paul, which one you hate least of the two, because we know he hates most of it.
It's Paul, and he hates all of it. Yes. John can't eat any of it. So
Cane's is like a Zaxby's, John. If you have that, it's a chicken finger place. So you get like a chicken finger tray with chicken fingers, fries, coleslaw, and toast.
That's so bizarre to me. That John's never had Cane's, man. It's so bizarre.
I'm agreeing with Paul. I'm going to take Papa John's. Like if I went to a location and there were only 2 options and it was Cane's or Papa John's, I'm probably getting the Papa John's. So I'm going to choose Papa John's.
Cane's.
Christy just says yes, and it's good. John's voting for Cane's despite never being there. John, what did the hospital serve tonight? Oh, that's mean. So we have 2 votes for Papa John's, 2 votes for Cane's. Christy's voting for Papa John's, so Papa John's moves on.
All right.
Cane's is eliminated.
Okay, next up, we have number 5, Steak and Shake, taking on number 4, Skyline Chili.
Yep. Sold. Do I even need to say?
No.
Move it on. Skyline wins 5-0. Next game. What's next up?
That's not how this works. As much as I agree with you, and I will take Skyline Chili as well, we still have to wait for the comments.
I'm clicking here. It won't work for them. It won't. It's just amazing how that works.
2-2 tie. It's a 2-2 tie.
And John's never heard of Skyline.
Paul and Christy both said Steak and Shake. John takes Steak and Shake. It's 3-2. So unless you can find, unless Dotson comes back in here and votes for, you got to phone a friend, man.
Fine.
Steak and Shake moves on reluctantly.
Fucking travesty.
All right, next up, we've got number 11, A&W, taking on number 14, Hunt Brothers, in 2 upsets.
Who did they beat again?
Hunt Brothers beat Panera, and A&W beat Qdoba because Paul hates Mexican food. It was a coin flip. So Paul hates Mexican food.
Yeah. Hunt Brothers is gas station pizza, too, for those that don't have it. So this is your gas station pizza is the way to describe it.
Right.
This is like the worst matchup of this round for me.
What do you want me to do?
I guess I'll vote for the gas station pizza. John will vote for the gas station pizza as well. Who are you voting for?
We have a Casey's, which has the most amazing breakfast pizza ever. Gas station pizza. Give it to me.
So that's it. Hunt Brothers moves on, eliminates A&W.
All right, next up, number 10, KFC takes on number 2, Subway, in a matchup that will make my wife cry tears.
Say that again.
It is number 10, KFC, taking on number 2, Subway.
KFC.
KFC beat Cheddar's. Subway beat Captain D's.
KFC.
There it is. There's the woman I know and love. There's the woman I'm going home to in a little bit.
Oh, she doesn't think very long, though. She is voting for Subway. What are you voting for?
KFC.
2 votes KFC, 1 vote for Subway. Paul's voting for KFC, 3 votes for KFC. John, 4 votes for KFC. Subway gets routed in the second round. Subway is eliminated.
They went into the matchup a little bit overhyped. They were excited. They thought it was going to be an easy win, and they got their butts kicked. All right, next up, bottom part of the right bracket, we have Outback, which is number 1, taking on Domino's, number 9. Outback beat Smoothie King, and Burger King beat Domino's. Outback versus Domino's. Outback versus Domino's.
What a like a
weird matchup. I know.
How are you voting?
Domino's, because I've had horrible service. I've had horrible service the last 2 times I went to Outback. Same with Steak and Shake, which is why I didn't vote for them either.
Honestly, like I can count on one hand the amount of times I've been to Outback. You know what? I guess my vote doesn't matter because that's 3 votes for Domino's, 1 vote for Outback, so my vote doesn't really matter anyways.
Okay.
So just to make things interesting, I'll say Outback, but really I'd vote for Domino's. Like if I was a tie-breaking vote, I would have given it to Domino's.
Okay.
So Domino's upsets Outback.
Our next matchups. Five Guys taking on DQ. Five Guys is number 5. Dairy Queen is number 4. Five Guys beat Dunkin'. Dairy Queen beat Denny's. So number 5 versus number 4. Five Guys versus Dairy Queen.
It's a good matchup. It's a good matchup. I mean, like Five Guys, if we're just taking price out.
Food. Oh, yes. Food only. Food.
But I mean, you got to classify the price in there. Like, you know, that is a factor. And if we're just talking food, like if you told me you're buying lunch and I can either get Dairy Queen or Five Guys, I'm probably going to pick the Five Guys.
Yep.
But Paul's voting for Dairy Queen. John's voting for Dairy Queen. Leroy's voting for Dairy Queen. I'll vote for Five Guys then, just to give them a vote. They don't deserve to get blown out. They don't deserve to get because it is good food. So it's 4-1. Dairy Queen wins.
All right. Next up, number 6, Jimmy John's takes on number 3, Popeyes. Number 6, Jimmy John's. Jimmy John's defeated Mellow Mushroom. Popeyes defeated Quiznos. So Jimmy John's number 6, Popeyes number 3.
Man, that's a tough one.
Popeyes, and that hurts for me, but Popeyes.
Because to me, Jimmy John's is the best sub place in my eyes.
Subway Mike's better, but Jimmy John's is fantastic.
Subway Mike's?
No, Jersey Mike's.
Oh, Subway Mike's, is that
Jersey Mike's?
I think it's Subway Mike's. I think that's a much better spot, isn't it? Yeah, I agree with what Paul says. I'm giving it to Popeyes. It hurts a little bit, but that's 3 votes for Popeyes, 1 vote for Jimmy John's.
Now I want chicken. Christy, I want chicken.
She just loves herself some cold cuts. And I guarantee John has never heard of either one of these places, probably. So, he does. He votes for Popeyes.
John, what sub places do you have near you other than Subway? What sub places do you have near you?
Wawa.
Wawa.
So Jimmy John's is eliminated. Popeyes moves on.
All right. Next up in our final matchup of the round of 32.
Oh, this is a big one too, isn't it? Oh yeah, this is the one you've been dreading, isn't it? Oh, I know this. Yep. I remember what this is.
I'm voting last. I need you to understand I'm voting last. Okay.
And this to me is an easy
number
pick.
10. Number 10, White Castle versus number 2, Waffle House. White Castle beat Little Caesars. Waffle House beat Jersey Mike's. So White Castle versus Waffle House.
This is a relatively easy decision for me. This is one of these games to me that looks great on paper, and people are like, "Oh, this is a great second round matchup," but in all reality, it turns out to a blowout. And Waffle House wins, going away. A 15-point win for Waffle House. They might make a couple of threes late down the stretch, White Castle, but no. Paul votes for Waffle House. John votes for White Castle. It's 3-1 in favor of Waffle House. Leroy, what's your vote?
Fine, Waffle House.
Would that have been your vote?
Yes.
Waffle
I'm not happy about it. I'm not happy about it. All right. So that finishes up our round of 32. So teams that advance.
Yeah, give us the matchups for the Sweet 16.
So we have McDonald's will take on Red Lobster. Chili's will take on Long John Silver's. Taco Bell will take on Olive Garden. Wendy's will take on Cracker Barrel. Papa John's will take on Steak and Shake. Hunt Brothers Gas Station Pizza will take on KFC. Domino's will take on Dairy Queen. And Popeyes will take on Waffle House.
Oh, my. What a Sweet 16 matchup.
I'm telling you.
So is it right that we're going to potentially have an Elite 8 Taco Bell versus Wendy's?
Yeah,
is that a potential? Or is that a Final Four?
No, that could be potentially the next round. That could be an Elite 8 matchup. So there's some favorites here. We're already starting to see, based off of how voting's gone, we're already starting to see some favorites here.
Are all the sub places gone now?
Poor
Christy. All of her sub places are gone.
They are. They are.
We got a lot of pizza on there, right?
We do. We have a lot of pizza. So let's see. Burger, seafood, Mexican, Italian, burger, sit down, pizza, burger, pizza, chicken, and ice cream, chicken, and sit down, really, really good breakfast.
Okay, right now, who is the favorite in your eyes? Like if you're Vegas.
Judging by the group, I'm putting a matchup of Wendy's versus Waffle House as a high favorite.
So that's the favorite. So, and who is the favorite then?
Probably Wendy's, knowing this group.
Okay, so you're saying Wendy's is the favorite. Interesting. I don't know. I really don't
know.
But
again, I still see there's some real potentials here, man.
You know who I think the Cinderella run's going to be? Is Long John Silver's.
Paul will lose his mind if Long John Silver.
And see what Paul doesn't realize is
makes the Final Four.
I am now just by spite.
They have an easy road.
By spite, I am voting for Long John Silver's every single time now.
That is not how you're supposed to do this. Not how you're supposed to do this.
No.
Are you ready for autographs?
I guess so.
All right.
Do you have a theme or no?
Today's autograph session is Major League Baseball first baseman from 2000 till now. So 2000 till now. Okay. So all of these guys played after the year 2000, first baseman. You're gonna get him all riled up.
John's prediction of Taco Bell is not a bad because he knows you, and he knows that in most matchups I'm going to vote for Taco Bell over.
Here's number one. Let me know if you have any issues seeing it.
Okay, I know this one. Yeah. Yep, I know this one. Colorado, right?
Yes.
Okay. I loved this guy. Great goatee, right?
Yes.
Elite goatee.
Elite
goatee.
Envious of it.
Oh, yeah. Just a great. I think he did go to University of Tennessee, though. If my memory's right. This would be Todd Helton.
He was born in Knoxville, Tennessee, correct. That is absolutely 100% Todd Helton.
I was glad when he got into the Hall of Fame, too.
He was drafted by the Padres in the second round of the 1992 MLB draft and was drafted by the Colorado Rockies in the first round of the 95 draft. Went to high school at Central High School in Knoxville, Tennessee. Good job. Next up.
Okay, I gotta go full screen here on this. Oh gosh. MLB walk-off home run? MLB record 13 walk-off home runs?
That's what it says.
Oh gosh. Jim Thome?
Is that a question or
I mean, it's a yep. John Paul agrees with me. Are we right?
From Peoria, Illinois, it's Jim Thome.
Look at us, Paul.
Here's the hardest one.
Oh no, that's okay. I think I'm right on this. Yankee and Ranger.
I made these too easy this week.
A hard last name to spell, right?
Yes.
Oh, you know what? Nope. I'm sorry. John got it right. Dang it.
Who did John say?
J squiggly letters.
Oh, that's it.
Yep. Paul and I. Yep. Mark Teixeira.
Yes.
Paul and I both agreed there. So look at us, Paul. 3 for 3. Baseball's the one that we can do pretty well.
Good job, guys.
Marl Tet.
Marl Tet was a country singer back in 1974. His big hit was "I Finally Got My Truck."
I thought that was like a legitimate fact there for a second. I was like, you could have kept going with that though, and I would have believed it because I don't like country music at all. But then I would have been kind of surprised because you are not a country music fan at all either, are you?
No, I have an hour request show that I have to do from 90s country every morning. I just want to gouge my ears out. It's so bad, dude.
When we worked in the station, we had the country station that would play, and when my boss would leave, he would crank it as loud as he could. And Randy, as soon as I would get back,
I'd turn it down every time he leaves.
As soon as I get back inside, would get back in after he'd leave, all the way down. It would be just loud enough that I could hear that it was on air.
Yep. No, we left all of the stations in audition one night, and one of the stations went off the air by accident, like had an issue, and he came storming in and goes, "You can't hear anything if it's all in audition." And one of our guys who used to work here goes, "Yeah, Randy, that's kind of the point."
You know what we get to start now this week, right?
The NASCAR Challenge, as NASCAR heads to Atlanta this weekend.
The NASCAR pick contest. And so last year, Paul Reeves was our champion. Again, if you've never done this, you get a NASCAR pick a driver each week. I think I liked our rule last year, too, of you can't take the same driver more than 2 weeks in a row. Yes, right? I think that was good.
Love it.
We keep that up. I don't know that we really need any rule changes other than that. I think it was pretty straightforward. But I think we keep the rule, though, that if you pick a driver and he ends up getting points docked or something, you get points docked too, right?
Yep.
So like if he ends up failing the post-race inspection and gets 0 points, then sorry, You also
Correct.
get 0
And
points.
We've had a couple of those. By the way, I'll just let you know, Daniel Suarez won the race last year in Atlanta.
You know what? I'll jump us off and I'll get us rolling. I'm going to take Ryan Blaney. Oh my goodness. John takes Joey Logano. I never would have guessed that.
I'm irritated. I was going to take Blaney. Good job. It's a good pick.
Take Blaney.
No, not this early. I will go with Kyle Busch.
Kyle Busch. Is this? I mean, it's one of these two that, I mean, you don't have to be here every week. Chase missed the first couple of weeks and almost came back, and he was in there until the end, until he started having some fun. Paul was also going to take Blaney. Then take Blaney. John says you should go Cindric.
I do like Austin.
Look at John dropping an Austin Cindric as the other NASCAR driver he can name. Like, give me the guy that won last year, Daniel Suarez.
Yay! I love Daniel Suarez. That's my man right there.
Daniel Suarez.
I love that guy.
Is Paul's pick. Anybody else, just tag Leroy or myself in the comments if you watch this back and you would like a pick.
Yes, please.
Let us know, or you can message. You can message one of us as long as it's in. As long as it's in by the start of the race. That's all that particularly matters with that. So you are tomorrow night?
Yes, Taylorville has a chance. They will play Rochester Rockets. My goodness, I struggled there for a second. Yeah, Taylorville will play the Rochester Rockets for a chance to win regionals for the first time since 2013. If they win, they will most likely play Muhammad Seymour Bulldogs, who they went 1-1 against this year and shared the Apollo Conference title with. Because heaven forbid we play anybody outside of our area in the playoffs at all. So that's who we will. If we win, that's who most likely we will play, unless something crazy happens.
We have our final game of the regular season tomorrow. At least it's scheduled. Looking like it's probably going to happen. We travel to Hancock County, which is about an hour away. Girl boy doubleheader, and then postseason begins Monday. Lady Cougars take on Butler County, which is a major 50-50 game. Like it is. Yeah. Grayson won both the games in the regular season, which kind of worries me. I'm not a firm believer in the can't beat a team 3 times, but there is some truth to it.
I don't like those. And that
especially when it's a 50-50 game. And this is a 50-50 game.
And see, that's what ours was going to be if Glenwood would have won. Because Glenwood was the team that beat us. Glenwood was the team that beat us off that last second stupid play that we had. And then they beat us earlier this year in a game that Taylorville led until the last minute and a half, and then they fell apart. So it would have been a horrendous. I mean, it would have been a ridiculous game.
And then Tuesday, the Cougs, the boys, they take on the host school in the district, Whitesville Trinity, a team that they beat by like 40 when they played them in Litchfield, but won by like 7 when they played there. So it is a little concerning just because you're playing them there. Grayson should win handily, but there's just the ever so slight thing. If they don't win, it'd be the first time ever in the history of the program that they've missed the region 3 straight seasons. But it is, it'll be interesting. So if the girls win Monday, they'll play Thursday, and if the boys win Tuesday, they'll play on Friday in the district championship game. So maybe next week I'll be having. Yeah,
next week's going to be kind of a play it by ear week as far as what we have going on for our schedule.
Because if the girls lose on Monday, then I'm free on Thursday.
Yeah, and then housekeeping, we finally hired somebody. They start in mid-March, so as soon as usual, they'll start right when basketball season ends and baseball season's kind of ramping up. So he is called lacrosse and soccer, but is never called baseball, football, or basketball. He likes the sports, but he's never called them. And Sam, you and I both know what
baseball's a hell of a one to give him a first one too.
I know. So, but I'm so happy to have another body here that can help because we are just exhausted. So,
God love it, right? Must be nice. Well, next week, just stay tuned to our Facebook page. We'll let you know as far as to when the show is. If not, we'll see you back in 2 weeks. we'll maybe see you next week. You got to get to a high school game, Paul.
Yeah, Paul, come on out. We need everybody here tomorrow night, 6 p.m. for Taylorville girls basketball against Rochester.
I'm sure Paul is going to be getting in the car right now to drive for high school girls basketball on a Friday night. I'm sure that's exactly where he'll want to go. We'll see you next week after, something like that. How's that sound?
Yep, we'll see you soon. Thanks, guys, for watching. We appreciate it.
Have a good week.